Hi guys, this is Sheree from Divine Visions. I'm bringing you your twin flame soulmate reading for those in separation. This is for September. We're now in spring here in Australia, so flowers are blooming, the bees are buzzing, that kind of thing. Everything's coming to life again after a cold season. And this can represent and be very symbolic for those in a love connection as well, where things can grow, things can bloom and blossom. Love can be felt again. You know, it can be like revisiting that kind of feeling as well. And some of you might be getting quite busy around this time. Some of you might be in a deep reflective kind of introspective kind of energy as well. Everybody's different, but this is for those in separation. And we're going to be having a look at the divine masculine to start with, and then the divine feminine. I always call it the divine masculine and divine feminine. Now, the divine masculine, the masculine side, can be anyone who, doesn't matter what gender you are, you can be a female or a male and resonate with that. You might identify yourself more as a masculine than a feminine, or more as a feminine than a masculine. It really depends on you, who you are, what experiences you're going through. We can sort of go back and forth between each one anyway, because we do have both within us. So let's have a look at the divine masculine first up. And want to say too that we have the full moon in Pisces, I think it is, coming in the next 10 days or so. So that's going to be very cool also. But in some ways it might be overwhelming for some people, being Pisces, the dreamer, and can be overly emotional at times. It might be a time to release things that are very emotionally charged for some people. Let's have a look at the divine masculine. First up, I just want to see what the theme is for the divine masculine this month. What is the main theme that we're working with here? Marriage. Wow. Okay, so it says, I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. Now, there's so many messages that can come through in this. I mean, it definitely means commitment, doesn't it? And it could be relevant to those of you who have a divine masculine who may be in a marriage, who may be partnered with somebody else. It could be that for some of you, there could be a feeling of this person coming back to you and actually wanting this with you, wanting to make a commitment. We're going to see what other cards come up with this, but commitment and marriage is definitely a major theme for this divine masculine this month. Now, that's just not going to sit right, so we'll leave it over there. All right, let's have a look at what's going on with the divine masculine right now. I'm using the Gilded Royale Tarot for these ones. Well, that came out, so I'm going to use it. Oh, goodness me. We're looking at the divine masculine on all levels, I should say. What's going on with him, what challenges he might be facing, how he's viewing the divine feminine, that kind of thing. These are huge. All right, here we go. Now, the first one that came out was the moon, which is interesting because this was the Pisces energy. It can be Cancer as well. But it's interesting because we have the full moon in Pisces coming up. So, yeah. Let's have a look at that in a moment. Just so you guys know, I am not doing reversals. Or actually, will I? Actually, yes, I will. Yep. Sorry, I am. It's a feeling I'm getting. Okay, let me see. Wow, they're all reversed, but this does not matter. One more, I'm being told. Okay, this one. Have to reshuffle these again and do them. You know what it's like for those who've been watching me for a while. I make a mess. Okay, here we go. This is the Pisces energy, the full moon. It's the emotions coming through, I feel, that this divine masculine they're not yet getting, what am I saying? They have not yet gotten to that full cycle within themselves, because the wand, not the wand, sorry, I've got to talk properly today. The world, I'll just slow down a bit. The world is all about coming to a full cycle. It's success. And it feels to me that this divine masculine has a lot of stuff going on within him on an emotional level, deep emotional level. There's stuff going on behind the scenes, stirring within him that is not yet dealt with. But on saying that, because the devil usually upright represents things that he's still tied to, that shadow self, being reversed, it shows me that he is actually breaking free from these things. So yes, there's going to be some stuff stirred up for him. Could actually be around the full moon in Pisces, where there is this stirring of emotion and coming to the surface, right? It's coming to the surface to be released. Finally. So it does feel like this divine masculine at this time, this month, is going to be very much in an introspective kind of energy, and he's in this now. So he might not necessarily be active. Okay, this is action. This is manifesting with the tools and resources that are available, manifesting what it is that he wants to achieve. Being reversed, he's not necessarily going to be taking this action. It is a time to just sit in what he's feeling right now. Being reversed for this one as well is the Two of Pentacles, meaning there's something he needs to let go of. There's a decision to be made. There's balance to be found in this for him. And it does look to me like he's going to find this, because we now have this one, which shows that see, the scales are balanced here. He's going to have that balance and harmony in his life, in his material world as well. So there is a grounding. He's going to ground his energy from all this emotional upheaval that's going on within him, and letting go of something finally, it looks like, regarding a shadow aspect of himself. Now, this is interesting because we're looking at the commitment aspect. There might actually be a breaking away for some of them from a karmic tie. So it could definitely be that they're not necessarily taking action, and it might not necessarily be that cut away from this person. They might not actually be physically walking away at this stage. There could be some preparations going on behind the scenes based on this emotional stuff going on here. So the feeling may be emotionally walking away from a situation, knowing that they have to make a decision. In their mind, I feel, and in their emotions, they've made a decision to let go of something, but it's going to take some time, some balancing out and preparation to bring that about, I feel. And they've got to learn to commit to themselves as well, what's important to them at this time. So let's have a look at how the divine masculine is currently viewing his divine feminine. I just want to say too, before I look at those, that because I noticed there were some major arcanas in this one. We've got the moon, the world, the devil, the magician. I mean, God, these are significant things he's going through. With Pisces, Cancer, we've got the world, which I don't know what the star sign of astrology is associated with that one. I'd have to look into it. The devil is Capricorn, and the magician's usually Aries. So yeah, that could be significant for those of you who have a masculine that is those signs. And now we have how he's viewing the divine feminine, Temperance, which is just beautiful. This is the Sagittarius energy. He sees that she's coming into her balance. She's perhaps waiting patiently for things to just going with the flow, basically. And, you know, it's harmony. She's in a harmonious place within herself, perhaps, embracing the opportunities that comes to her. She's gaining her courage to move forward. So in this space, she's actually just going with the flow, balancing and tempering the energies in her life, not necessarily reacting or taking action in any way, but just being in her present moment, seizing the opportunity that is about to open up for her in her life. So he sees that she is moving forward. She's quite balanced. She's quite strong in her energy. There has been, what's this one? yeah, she's moving past this negative thinking. It's that victim consciousness. She's coming out from that. She was in this. He sees that she's coming out of that now, and that even though this is reversed, because this is the transformation and healing, that there is this is Aquarius energy here. There is the ability to sometimes... yeah, that's what I'm getting. So she's just come out of a situation where she's feeling like she was trapped in it. Maybe it's to do with him. Maybe it's to do with the masculine, where she feels like she's now gaining her strength, her courage, staying in a place of patience, not freaking out in any way if things don't work out. She's just on her own path. She's awaiting an opportunity to arise to move forward and be strong and be inspired and courageous again to move forward. And there is this... hope that some of them are giving up on that hope with the divine masculine, and they're okay with that. They might feel like, okay, he's going through his stuff, I can't really do anything about this right now, I'm just going to focus on myself and get myself right. And then we've got the Nine of Swords, which is the depression, being reversed. It could mean that some divine feminines are on that edge. They're like just coming out of that space, okay? So it feels to me that she's a bit worried she might be going back into this. So this is how he views her too, by the way. So it might not necessarily be something that she's actually going through. Like, I do feel that a lot of the way they perceive somebody to be is usually how they're going in their experience here, how the divine feminine is. But he sees that she's balanced, that she's seizing opportunities in her life, that she is coming out from a dark place. And possibly has had depression. So has been quite down in a dark place, has not let go of things, has found it very hard to move forward and embrace her own confidence and courage to move forward. So he sees that within her, that she's not feeling extremely secure in her path, but she's on her way. She's got some healing to still do. That's what he sees. So how is he feeling towards the divine feminine right now? How is he actually feeling towards her? Right, I want to get another card in a moment too. So first up, we've got the Page of Swords. So there might be some negative thinking, okay, within himself. He might be self-doubting himself as well. Like with communication, there might be some issues around communication currently between the two of them. She might be quite stubborn in some ways. Like he is feeling, I feel that he wants to come forward, but he's not sure how to. He sees the divine feminine and feels that she is like a queen, like she is somebody that is very successful in her life. Even it's such a weird thing, because even though he's perceiving her to be going through this struggle, deep down he sees that she is this strong goddess. She is able to bring herself to this point. He can see this. He feels this for her. He feels like there's a solid connection there, and that it can definitely grow into something very secure. And it feels like you've had this before, where it was very secure. You were very secure in yourself, perhaps when you met this person, when you met your divine masculine. And as you've progressed and gone through this history together, the experiences, there has been in some ways a feeling of not being secure, not being this queen. So there's been some issues with the communication. He's not sure, and he knows that he's communicated quite immaturely in the past, and that deep down, even though he perceives the divine feminine to be going through these things, he definitely feels this is what she is. She is his queen, basically. This could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius male, okay? Masculine, I should say. So the the 10 of Wands reversed. I just want to see what else is coming up with that. Yeah, he knows that there's some hard work to do to gain her trust. He knows that he needs to be the masculine, come in with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, once again with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. He knows he needs to get to this point of being the King of Pentacles, right? On her wavelength, basically, on the same page. So he knows he's got some inner work to do, as we saw before, where he's currently at. He's letting go of some inner demons there, working through them. But he knows that he's not mature enough just yet to give her what she needs. So he's not yet feeling that he's reaching her standards here. You know, he's not, like, she might be way out of his league kind of thing. That's how he might be feeling right now regarding the Divine Feminine. So even though he perceives her as going through these challenges, he still sees her as the goddess that he perhaps wants to commit to. Because the Divine Masculines right here, the Knight of Pentacles, are the slow-moving knights of the deck. They are the ones that come in and plan, and they slowly move forward. They really do. They plan methodically their way forward towards the Divine Feminine, and they're offering something of value. This is what he wants to do. He doesn't want to just rush in and not have anything of value to offer the Divine Feminine. So this is a very committed Divine Masculine. Then we've got the Six of Wands, which shows victory. He feels that this is going to be very victorious with the Divine Feminine. He feels that they can have a connection. They can, once they both work on themselves, but he definitely recognizes that he needs to work on himself a lot here. Now, there's a lot going on there. I hear the words, he doesn't want the Divine Feminine to, has she forgotten me? That's what he's saying. Have you forgotten me in this time? Because he's feeling a little bit left out. Because the Divine Feminines are just focusing on themselves. And he might be feeling that energy right now. All right, what are we going to do? What's this to do with? Yeah, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So basically, it's not time. He knows that if he was to try and jump in right now, you'd tell him to piss off. It's this kind of energy going on with the Divine Feminines. They're not angry. They're not really reactive. But if he was to come in without doing any work, that's what they'd basically say to him. So let's have a look at the challenges that the Divine Masculine might be facing right now. Going into that quiet space, that introspection, as we saw before, is going to be very difficult because it is a time where there's a need to confront. And it's almost like he can't run away from it anymore. It's time to deal with things now. So this is something that is hard for them to do, is also to listen to their heart, listen to their instincts, rather than taking action all the time. It's that extroverted masculine type of energy of always doing something. So they've got to learn to come into that receptive energy of being able to quieten their minds, quieten themselves, be in that space, that presence within themselves to really listen to what they need to perhaps release or heal within themselves, or what they do need to do. So they need to get that wisdom coming in. Yeah. So what do they need to surrender right now? Surrender to divine timing. No need to rush anything, because with that kind of work, the internal work, it does take time. It can take different timing for different people. So sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. Now, some divine masculines are not patient. They just want it all to be done now and just get on with things, especially if it's to do with someone else in their path, like a karmic partner. It is going to take time because things have to be in order, things have to be organized if they're going to be leaving that situation. So express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So it's all about divine timing on his behalf to be able to come forward to the divine feminine. It might be, something that he knows he has to do, like we saw that Knight of Pentacles before, where he's planning and slowly moving towards the divine feminine, trying to work towards, giving and offering something of value to her, and knows that it will take divine timing in order to express this love. So he's not going to just jump in and express this now to the divine feminine. The communication would be quite immature. It's too premature, that kind of stuff going on here. So when it's time, he will do this. That's what it looks like for many of you. Now, I want to see, what action will he take when it's time to take action? When it is time to take action, what will he take towards the divine feminine? All right. It's definitely going to come forward with communication. It's interesting, there's 2 pages here. So I just want to see. Yeah, okay, so we've got the lovers, which is the Gemini energy. And it definitely shows that there's romance here. There's chemistry. He wants to definitely come forward and express this to the divine feminine. It feels to me that it is very like a serious commitment. It's a serious conversation he wants to come forward with the divine feminine. He doesn't want to hold back and wait any longer. His recovery will have been done by then. What it shows me is that he will be coming out from this place of recovery, and wants to offer something that's tangible and something that's like this passion, this newfound passion is coming in. There's something a little bit more grounded here as well, which is really awesome. But the communication side of things is going to be like a deep and meaningful. It's almost like a heart-to-heart going on here. And he has a lot more wisdom within him now, and it could definitely be a Gemini, masculine or a feminine, that he wants to come forward to, because this is the Gemini and this is the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energies here. So it could definitely be significant for those of you who are a Gemini. So what I see with this also is there integrity. There is integrity with this. There's wisdom coming through. He wants to tell the divine feminine that he now sees something for what it truly is. He now has come out from that place of maybe emotional turmoil or some kind of haziness, that's in his life right now. And he's now clear on what he wants. He's come out, and he might be on the tail end of coming out from that recovery when he wants to come forward and speak with her. It does look to me like she's been hurt in the past too from him. So there's something that's been done or said in the past that has really hurt her. And I feel like he wants to make amends with this. So even if it's a small gesture towards her that's of a material, like in the material world, it's something that she can feel or see that he's actually doing. Could be a small gift that he's giving her, that kind of thing as well. But there's definitely going to be this news. It's good news coming through for the divine feminine. He's coming in with good news, and looks beautiful right there. Yeah, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So this looks really awesome. This shows me that he's calling you in. He's coming to you. You've been calling in this as well for the two of you to perhaps come together. So this is what's going on here, is that he is being drawn to and pulled, towards being able to work on himself and reflect and come into that maturity as well within himself regarding what perhaps he needs to heal and what needs to grow between you. Now, I just want to see, where am I? I just want to see, what is the temporary outcome? For this month, this is. Hang on a moment. Just want to see what this is. Now, this action might not be this month. This could be action that, you know, we're just looking at the energies around this month as well. The action could, you know, depending on his timing for his healing and for him to finally get something and maybe to release a karmic or whatever's going on there, it's going to take a little bit of time. For some of you, it could be 3 months. For some of you, it could be 6 months. For some of you, it could be a year. You know, but it's worth waiting for. That's what this is saying. Divine timing, this is the word coming up again, is at work in your love life. Sometimes it pays to wait. Now, this is saying, okay, that there's definitely still some time to work on himself, because this is somebody that comes together with another person. They share the vision together. They're on the same path, moving towards this quest. Or this, you know, destination together. At the moment, that's not happening. There will be some stress, okay? There will be some anxiety, worries about where is this going? What are they doing? What's taking so long? That kind of stuff could come up here as well. And a lack of, like a fear of this person's not committed to you. They don't want this with you. They don't really want this serious stuff with you. They don't want to commit. Now, they could be feeling this with you because they're stuck in this energy. They could be feeling like, what if I lose this person because I'm not ready yet? What if they move on away from me? You know, this is the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. This is the Taurus. So we could definitely be talking about a Taurus masculine here. Yeah, so we can definitely be talking about a Taurus masculine right here. Could be Virgo or Capricorn as well. That is not feeling that they're fully at that place within themselves yet to be the king. Now, remember we saw the Queen of Pentacles before, of how he sees her as this mature, practical, how he's feeling for her is that she's very like the goddess basically, and that she's quite mature and she knows what she wants, that kind of thing. He's not feeling yet that he's at that king mode. So there's insecurities that will arise from this, okay? And what we've got here is the person that's holding off, they're closing off themselves. So it just looks to me like he just needs to go within himself to find out, like not closing off to the divine feminine. Maybe he needs to guard himself or close off. But I feel like that will heal in time. It's interesting. So weird. I just read the wrong message for this, but that's the intuition that was coming through. This is the 5, which means that he can feel rejected, that kind of thing. This is the closed off one. So interesting how that's come up anyway. But this is the feeling of being closed off, knowing that he won't be rejected, knowing that he doesn't have to close himself off, that he can take a risk, you know, being able to just be genuine, being able to even just communicate a little bit with the divine feminine, say, you know, I'm going through some stuff at the moment. I'm trying to work through it. Hang in there, so kind of thing, you know. But for some of you who are in no communication right now, this is just saying that he's going to be feeling like lack of confidence in his material world as well as emotionally. Like he doesn't feel like he's got anything of value to perhaps give to the divine feminine, even in the material world. So let's have a look at a special message for him as well as part of the temporary outcome. receiving from angels. So shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love. He might be quite closed off to everything that's to do with love, or that receptive energy, or that feminine type of giving, healing energy. He might be quite closed off to everything right now. He might not really trust anything around him right now to feel. So anything to do with feeling or healing or love or anything like that, he might feel he doesn't deserve it at the moment. So he might be closing off from that, but he is going to have the angels around him. They are coming in, offering their healing energy to him. What does he want to say to the Divine Feminine? Love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer. Because once again, this divine masculine feels a bit low in his self-esteem right now. He feels he's not good enough. Some of them feel like they're not good enough for the divine feminine. They're not at that point yet of working in their material world, let alone their emotional world, that kind of thing. And may not feel that they can really give or offer anything of value just yet to the divine feminine. So a lot of them are saying, you know, you deserve all the wonderful things that life has to offer. So yes, they want the divine feminine to have everything beautiful in her life. They want her to have the security that they are not able to offer at this stage. Yes, they have insecurities about losing her in that as well. But he's saying, love who you are. Never doubt who you are. And that's what he loves about the divine feminine, is that he sees her authenticity. He sees who she truly is. He knows her soul. And so he's saying that he really loves you. He loves you for who you are. You don't need to change or try and be any different. You don't have to pretend to be someone else in order to try and vie, for his attention, that kind of thing. It's about being able to just accept who you are, be in your own present flow of energy, be who you are, be your divine self, and he will come around when he's able to, when he's meant to. Okay, so that is just amazing. So I'm going to do the divine feminines now. Okay, we're going to have a look at the divine feminine now. So let's have a look at the theme that the divine feminine is dealing with this month. A miracle. Wow, this is really awesome. So it says, I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation. So it's the higher powers, a miracle coming in. Perhaps the divine feminines have been praying for a miracle to come into their life. It could be to do with their own divine masculine coming in. It could be the fact that they wish to unite or reunite with their divine masculine. It could be other things that is going on in their life that they're praying for a miracle around. But it could also mean that there is actual divine intervention coming in and a miracle that may be coming in for the divine feminine this month, which is looking really promising. So let's have a look at what's going on for the divine feminines. Okay, so all right, so let's have a look. We've got the sun here, which is just beautiful, positive energy. To me, it's really, look at the gold and the yellow and everything. It's like shining light coming in. It's like this miracle coming in, this positivity and hope as well, because sunflowers can represent that hope. And it's that brilliance, okay? It's the brilliance of a new beginning. It's like the promise of a new beginning. This is the Leo energy too. So it could be very significant to the divine feminines who are a Leo. But also it's showing me that there is definitely hope and courage coming through, and the ability, I should say, to push forward, move forward. And we did see before in the divine masculine side of things that he's perceiving her to be very courageous, to start moving in this like a balancing of energies going on here for her. And then we've got the Tower, which is very interesting. It talks about a sudden change, can be a divine intervention. Once again, we're seeing the miracle card. It can be disruptive. It can mean that everything the divine feminine thought was a certain way, she's going to have her world shaken a bit, and it could be a good thing, though. It doesn't have to necessarily be bad. It can mean that emotionally, because we're looking at the Four of Water here, can be boredom, can be discontentment, can be stagnant kind of energy coming here into her life. Like, this is going to be stirred up. There's some action going to be taken, might be even through her own affirmations for a miracle, right? For this miracle to come in, it might be her own prayers, her visualizations and affirmations that are bringing this about. So there is definitely this murky kind of energy, or feeling like stuff has been stuck for some time, going to be replenished is a word I get, but also disruptive. Like, so some things might feel a little bit turbulent. You can imagine if there's a disruption underwater that there's going to be this turbulent energy going on. But there is the sun right next to this, so it means it's a positive move forward. It's a positive disruption. And emotionally, things are going to be, it could be happening right now. We are looking at the current energy of the divine feminine. And she's also, we've got 2 fours here, which means that some security or aspect of feeling like her foundations are stable in her life emotionally and mentally. She's not going to necessarily feel secure emotionally and mentally at this during this change. So there might be some negative thoughts coming through, some kind of I'm going to see what this means in a moment too for further cards here. I'll pick another one. Oh, there we are. So yeah, it's about getting on that path. It's about preparing for a journey, basically a quest. And there might be some communication she wants to put forward to the divine masculine, but might be at this stage not really sure how to proceed. This is also her new ideas, and also a feeling of, what am I seeing with that communication here? She wants to get on the same path with her divine masculine. She wants to be aligning with him, but she knows also that this stuff is making her feel a little unsettled. Even though it's positive and she's moving forward, there's something she's leaving behind in her life which might have her moving into some kind of a negative thinking. It really depends on how the divine feminines are going to look at this change. It can be a blessing in disguise. Sometimes when change is happening, we think it's bad, or we feel very uncomfortable, and so we don't see the hidden blessing in this. But it's definitely a blessing. There's definite amazing things coming through. So when we affirm things, we have to be prepared for what the universe will deliver. Now let's have a look at how the divine feminine is viewing the divine masculine. How is she perceiving her divine masculine right now? All right. Just wanted to check these quickly because sometimes I forget. This could be a Gemini energy here as well, okay? It could be, sometimes it can be classified as a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but I think it's more the Gemini energy here that might be significant for some of you as a feminine. So it could be Gemini or Leo. Now, how she's viewing the divine feminine, the divine masculine, I should say. This is the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. And she sees this divine masculine as being somebody who's quite creative, somebody who is a leader, a natural leader, someone who is quite bold and able to achieve things, in their life, is able to step forward and make things happen, is an action-oriented person. Maybe a charismatic kind of energy as well, somebody who's charming and able to achieve their dreams. This is how she sees him. And she sees that he's fiery, that he is passionate. Yeah, and it's interesting because this could definitely be a Sagittarius, being the Sagittarius right here next to it. This is the Patience, the Temperance card. So she definitely feels that he's trying to come into some balancing of his energies between this harmonious, like balancing his energies from that fiery passion, right? Sometimes he can overreact or he can be impulsive and take risks, that kind of thing. But it's also about that she sees he's come into this more refined kind of energy now, where he's tempering his energies, he's balancing them right now. He's balancing his life right now in the material world. So he is definitely using his wisdom, his passions, his creations, his creative energy, and bringing it into his material world. And he's able to create. It's so important that that word comes through for some reason, that she sees that he is making something of himself. He is able to manifest what it is that he needs to achieve in his life. He doesn't necessarily feel that, as we saw before, but she's seeing him like this. She sees his potential. She sees what he can achieve in his life. And she feels that some parts of him have settled down a little bit. Whereas before he might have been a bit more of a, flighty kind of energy, where he was coming and going a lot. But now she sees that he's settling down a bit now, which is really good, because we did see that he's got that marriage commitment type of energy around him. That's his theme. So he will be looking at his priorities in his life and trying to balance that out. But she also sees that it's going to take some work, because he's not yet on the path. So being the Page of Earth reversed shows me that even though his energy at the moment, it's more his energy she's looking at here, is, focused. At the same time, she feels that, yes, he's prioritizing his life. He's trying to reach that balance, but he's not yet ready to embark on this path, this material path, where it's grounded and achieving his personal goals just yet, because he might be lacking in some confidence here. Now, that's really interesting, because these two energies together show me somebody who has the courage. This is the Leo sign here as well. So we can definitely be talking about a Leo or a Sagittarius masculine right here as well through these cards. So what I see with this is that she sees that, yes, he's coming into this energy right here. He's settling down. He's tempering his energies. He's prioritizing his life. He may not necessarily be ready yet just to jump in on that path and be grounded, because, she sees that he's working on himself, and that he may not necessarily have the courage or strength to jump in or to move forward on that path just yet. So he might still need some courage and strength to do so. What is she feeling towards him right now? What is the Divine Feminine feeling towards him? Okay, so just want to quickly, I might do it differently in order to how I do the other ones, but I'll just go with what I'm drawn to doing at the time. Where are we? Yeah, so what she's feeling at the moment is that he needs to let go of control issues, which is so interesting. We have the Emperor coming up here. Okay, so basically what she feels for him, there's a lot of passion within her for her Divine Masculine. There is definite passion. She wants things to move quickly, even though she knows that they can't at this time. But with purpose, because this is interesting, the Messenger of Air is reversed. So even though she does want to come forward, or wants him to come forward, there's this feeling of communication. That's what it is. It's past communication she wants to see transformed into something that is going to be genuine, I'm hearing. It's like in the past, she's tried to control how communication goes, and deep down wants him to come to her with authenticity, once again, that word, and wants him to have the courage to come forward and say what he really means. You know, what is he really feeling? What does he really want to say? And she's learning to let go of these control issues, because allowing the situation to unfold naturally, letting him come to her when he's ready rather than when he's kind of like put in a corner and got to say whatever he's got to say, you know, if she's demanding him. That's kind of what's going on here as well. So he's trying to gain courage to face her, to come back onto this path with her, to commit to her. But if she's got control issues and sitting back kind of like, you know, with this kind of attitude or energy of, okay, well, I'm not going to move forward to you until you do this kind of ultimatum, he's going to pick up on that. And that might be also why he's finding it and hesitating to get on this path right now. He's not sure how the Divine Feminine's going to approach him or accept him. So when we see this, it just looks to me like how she's feeling. Yes, she's passionate, but she's also very passionate about this communication. Might not necessarily be that she wants to come forward and reach out to him right now, for those of you who are not in connection or communication, because there's some stuff from the past that is still being like harbored within the Divine Feminine. She's still a little bit stuck on one viewpoint and how it should be. How he should respond, how he should react. He should be the masculine coming into this energy of taking control and charging in, you know, and making things right. That's how she's feeling. This is the Aries energy once again, which is interesting. This is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is, the Aries masculine. So we've got the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, very like a lot of fire signs coming up in this reading, as well as the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now let's have a look. This one is the Pisces energy. We had that before for him, the moon. This is reversed. Shows me that she wants to know his true feelings for her. I don't think this divine masculine has ever really come forward and told her. So she definitely wants something that's once again, tangible, that's real, that's genuine. She wants to know his true feelings for her. She wants to know that he's on the right path, like that he wants to be on the right path with her, that he wants this new beginning with her that's grounded or cemented in, like that it's that commitment once again. So this is all this, what she's feeling for him is that she's got great passion for him. She's got an intense passion for him. And it can be very emotional at times. It can be very up and down going on within her because she hasn't yet got that like secure feeling within herself just now. So it's interesting though, because this miracle we're talking about here, maybe that's what she's doing, is praying for a miracle to come in because of this energy that's a bit rigid between the two of them. Now let's see what challenges is the Divine Feminine facing right now. What challenge? Oh, there it is. Feminine energy. She might be coming more into a masculine role. So I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. I do feel like some of these divine feminines are trying to control things. They're trying to, whether it be in their thought space or their emotional space or just in their physical world or the way they communicate, there's some aspect here that is very stubborn, very rigid. And it could be stemming from resentment or just a fear. It could be fear-based. And some of them with this are coming into a masculine role where it's maybe demanding, or it could be passive-aggressive. But the divine feminines are finding it hard to get into this feminine role of just being able to be fully passive, receptive, and allowing for things to unfold and flow. Now, we are coming into the full moon in Pisces. It's about allowing things to flow. It's about allowing things that we need to surrender, let go of it, you know. Let's see what else this is to do with. Yeah, so religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Now, with this, I feel the Divine Feminines, once again, it's interesting because this is the miracle. They're putting it out there what they want. And they're kind of like really holding on to that, and obsessing over it. So once again, it's about letting it go, putting it out there to the universe, what it is that you wish for, let it go, and being able to release that to the universe, to the higher powers, to let it unfold naturally, to let it come back to you. So that's what they've got to do, is just to learn to let go a bit. Let's have a look at what they do need to surrender. So lack of trust there. Surrender to silence, okay? There's too much noise going on in the Divine Feminine's mind. So in quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So the Divine Feminines are really advised to go into this meditative state, to be able to pray, to believe in the miracle that's coming to them, to allow it to let go of it and to allow it to unfold, to know within themselves that it will come back to them as they wish. Okay, and that's the thing, they don't trust. They're putting out all these affirmations, putting out these visualizations. We can't change someone else's free will, and I think that's where the frustration's coming in as well for a lot of Divine Feminines who may not even be aware of it. On a subconscious level, they may be praying for this to happen with their Divine Masculine, and he's not ready. He's just not on that path. He's not aligning with that right now. And if the Divine Feminines really reflect within themselves, they'll realize that there's some aspects of themselves that are not aligning already yet either. So it's about each one needing to go within and recognizing and acknowledging the work, the inner work they both need to do. Now, which is causing frustration and this repelling of energy rather than bringing it in. So let's have a look at, I'm just having a look at what I've got here to do. I want to see, what was I going to look at there? Yeah, what action will the Divine Feminine take towards the Divine Masculine at this time? Hang on, they're just gone a bit crazy on me. Okay, hang on a moment. Okay, what action? Transformation, Scorpio energy. This is the letting go. This is allowing things to unfold. So maybe there's something that's going to happen, like a light bulb going off in some areas, sometimes it can happen, where the Divine Feminines realize, I've got to let this go. I've just got to let it go. Let it transform. Let myself transform. Let this connection transform. And not, this is interesting. So the messenger of fire is someone who's very reckless, coming in really in and out really fast, and it can be chaotic kind of conflicting energy. It can be really fast action, coming in and out, and very unreliable sometimes. But being reversed, it shows me that this person is transforming this frustration, this lack of action, this lack of impulsively jumping in, etc., is transforming that into something a bit more tangible, a bit more grounded here. The energies are that energy of feeling like flighty, it's in and out, it's not stabilized, is going to change. You're going to want to work, you Divine Feminines, with the not only the higher powers, but also with your material self, yourself, grounding yourself, working with another person. Perhaps it could even be a counselor, something along those lines, something that's helping you to ground your energies, because you're doing some hard work on yourself. It might just be a start, but it's definitely going to be something that is aligning you and balancing your energy and having the tools now to be able to move forward on that path is amazing. So the Nine of Water, reversed. Usually this is the Pisces as well, in Neptune, I think it is. But this is the Nine of Water. This is about your emotional dreams coming to fruition. It's emotional fulfillment and bliss. It's working hard on yourself and achieving these. It's that miracle coming in that we see. Okay, it's about being able to believe in yourself, in the journey. Being reversed, it might show that you're going to let go of that part of it. You might not be holding on so much to that aspect of things. You might be more working in the material side of things here, where it could be literally going into a self-help kind of course. You might be reading something that's helping you. You might be doing the meditation and grounding yourself in nature. It's not this flighty energy. It's more grounded now. And allowing things to just transform. Maybe you are also reinventing some parts of yourself, some of your image. It could be that you're going to the gym, it could be that kind of stuff. It's just like you're focusing on yourself now rather than the connection. And that's awesome. So that's the actual action you're taking towards the divine masculine, is going more within yourself. Letting your guard down, not being defensive. Let's see what else. Yeah, and not feeling so rejected. You're not going to take it so personally if he's not communicating with you, or if things are just not coming together right now. There's this feeling of just allowing things to be. So there might initially be this insecurity, not feeling, stable in the connection, but trusting eventually, a lot of you are going to come in and just really surrender to this. And trust that, okay, it's going to take a bit longer. Okay, I need to work on myself. I value myself. I'm going to do this for myself as well. And we want to see, hang on a moment, what's going on there? I want to see, because that's kind of like showing the outcome anyway, but we will see the divine outcome. Here we go, the divine temporary outcome. They threw themselves out, and for some reason I put those other cards back in there, which I don't normally do. So if they come out again, it's meant to be. Sorry, it's a truck going past. All right, let's have a look here. So okay, so we've got the Seven of Air, Six of Earth reversed. Got a few swords here. So we've got the Nine of Air reversed. We've got the Two of Air. Okay. Ace of Air reversed and a High Priestess. Okay. Now, this is going to be a challenge for the Divine Feminines. This temporary outcome that, yes, they're on that starting path. Okay. They're starting to get on their journey. They're focusing on themselves. They're focusing on the transformation, letting it go. The temporary outcome shows that there's still going to be a lack of trust in the process. So it's almost like some divine feminines will choose that mind over intuition, and it's like logic over intuition. So they're going to analyze. Some divine feminines are going to analyze. They're going to revert back to that. They're going to try and analyze what the meaning is. Why are they doing this? Why is this? Why is that? Why is it not balanced? Why is there no flow? Why is this person holding back? If they're going to hold back, I'm going to hold back. And there's like this feeling of going into like a depressive state and being trapped and not knowing what direction to go in. Now, this is also telling you everything is not in stone, okay, guys? Just because it says a temporary outcome doesn't mean it can't be changed. The whole reason this reading is coming out for you is to say, look, this is what's going on. You can change this a different way. You don't have to be dealing with this stuff. A lot of you might revert back into this pattern, lose self-esteem, lose that inspiration to keep working on yourself, trusting in the process. Once again, may lose sight of your own selves and focus on the connection more so. And you're being advised to tune into your intuition. This is the hidden realm as also. A lot of you are going to be wondering, what's going on? What's the meaning of this connection? Why isn't this happening? Does this person feel this? It's that kind of thing. And a lot of you will be opening up. Let's see, what are we doing here? Let's see what this is about. yeah, okay. There's still some wounds within yourselves to deal with here. There's some deep wounds that something's going to be triggered, okay? Something's going to trigger you back into this particular situation, way of being, and it's a good thing in a way, because if this happens to you, it's a wake-up call kind of thing. It's saying, you know what? You're moving into a positive thing. We saw that earlier. You're moving into a positive energy. It's a disruption between energies that you've been feeling, emotions, that kind of thing. There's a chance to let it go and transform and surrender. But some of you might revert back into this energy, which can get you down further because you're not seeing the change that you thought was coming along. You might feel like this disruption and miracles coming in is a certain way, and that, oh, it means that we're going to be together by this time and whatever it is. It's that control factor. So it's about being able to let it flow, being willing enough to open up enough to healing and opening up enough to allow just yourselves to live your life, regardless of what's going on with your divine masculine. Live your life, grow in yourself, prosper, because there's definitely some wound to still heal from here. And if this is triggered within you, it does show that there's still more to heal. And that's why I feel like that counselor kind of message came up before, because I feel like there's some things within the divine feminines they're not dealing with. And when things are great with the divine masculine, they don't think about that because it's not being triggered. Same for the divine masculine too, by the way. He's got a lot of stuff coming up for him that when it's triggered, he'll withdraw. He'll withdraw and hide away because there's fear there. So the same kind of thing is occurring for both sides. Just want to see what's this to do with as well for the divine feminine. Yeah, deception. You're not being true to yourselves, guys. So someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship, and it's so interesting because the Seven of Air is the same thing as deception. Are you being true to yourself? Are you wearing a mask? Are you being really true to yourself about what work on inner work you need to do also? Let's have a look at the temporary. This is another message for the temporary outcome. Ah, oh, beautiful. Look at this. Healing the past. Wow. I step into my future with strength and clarity. It's about trusting in the process. It's about having that courage to do so. I really feel that you guys can do this. I really do. It feels like there's been a cycle within a lot of you, and a lot of you have been watching these videos for over the year that I've been doing them, and it seems to be the same kind of theme that's coming up in these readings for those of you who are on that cycle of, it's kind of like coming together with the divine masculine, then something goes wrong, and so it's withdrawing, and there's this blame game going on both sides. One will withdraw and close off, and the other will chase, because that's how it goes with twin flames especially. And there is this need to heal. Both of them need to heal. But instead of looking within, they're looking at each other. And the divine masculines aren't looking anywhere. They're trying to distract themselves through the material world. So they're looking outside externally to the material to get busy, to get active. And the divine feminines are pushing down everything that needs to be healed and looking outwards towards the divine masculine to come in and heal this when they really have to heal this themselves. So the prayers and visualizations the divine feminines are doing are working, but they need to realize that, yes, this might bring about what you want in order to have like a reunion or a reconnection with your divine masculine, but there's going to be stuff coming up regarding this, because with every change, there is a disruption. Things get uprooted in our life, how we know it now. And if you want to have this beautiful life that's balanced, it's going to get rid of all the stuff that's imbalanced. It's going to bring that up first. So a lot of you have to realize that that's what's going to happen. It's not just a switch from one thing to the other. There's an actual transformation going on here, like the cocoon. It's like the caterpillar in the cocoon turning into the butterfly. It's that metamorphosis. It's that, it's the transformation, it's the painful transformation. It's that place of darkness that the Divine Feminines find themselves in. So this is just beautiful, though, because I do feel there is a miracle coming in regarding healing this, as long as the Divine Feminines are committed to their path of healing. Not running away or wearing a mask anymore. And it's not all up to the Divine Masculine to come in and rescue the Divine Feminines. I think some Divine Feminines still have that kind of a fairy tale type of idea in their minds, okay? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it can be, but I think over time, through being young and watching TV and fairy tales and all that stuff, it's like the Prince Charming coming in, and it's kind of like looking at it beyond that veil now as, okay, well, I've got to fix myself. I've got to heal myself. What does the Divine Feminine want to say? What does she want to share with the Divine Masculine? And I know that's heavy, guys. I'm so sorry, but this is the message coming through. It's just so strong. And when these come through, some people just got to pay attention and listen to that. Okay, so what does she want to say? She goes, look at your pattern in relationships. Oh my God, this is amazing. So she's saying it requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. It is so interesting that we're talking about the Divine Feminine doing the same, but she's also telling the Divine Masculine, this is what you need to do. He's saying, look at who you are. Look at the divine in you. Look at the divine goddess that you really are. You don't need to change. You don't need to hide yourself anymore. You don't need to wear that mask. You've got to come into your authenticity. And that can be done through healing and being vulnerable. And you're saying to him, look at your pattern in relationships. Look at you getting scared and running away because of, when it comes to committing to something. Being able to commit your life to something. Are you afraid of failing? Because that's why a lot of people don't commit. They're scared to commit because they're afraid that they'll fail, or that the foundations that are built with that are going to crumble. It's once again a fear of losing out, a fear of pain, a fear of loss. And so the Divine Feminines are saying, look at your pattern in relationships. It takes courage and inner strength to actually acknowledge that, you need to change as well. Because some Divine Masculines can be damn stubborn. They don't necessarily want to be told to do anything. And some will actually prefer and will stay in unhappy marriages, because we did see his card marriage, just because they are resistant to change. And it all stems from fear, once again, or duty. Because if we're talking about their morals, their values, that kind of thing, that's starting to change, because a lot of them are realizing, I'm not happy where I am, and there are questions being raised for them and courage coming to them regarding moving forward and healing themselves, being able to realize there's some stuff that they still need to face and heal within their, we saw that emotional turmoil going on before. It's like, what other people need and want me to do and how I should be, opposed to what I'm really feeling and know I need to do. So they're at that crossroads right there, or that fork in the road. But it's amazing. Look at your pattern in relationships. These Divine Masculines have what am I saying? They have repeated these patterns, this cycle in your relationship, if it's been on and off. And they've repeated this in their past relationships. There's definitely something that they need to learn. And I feel they are learning it this time. They are going through some emotional shifts and starting to really look within in that place of introspection now. And looking within and saying, you know what, shit, maybe it's me instead of everyone else. And that's a good thing, because it means that there's room for change, and healing right there, and the lessons being learned. And it's not a blame game, it shouldn't be a blame game, but it does turn out to be like that in some of these cases where there is hurt and there is damage. And there's just the need to be able to, in times of separation, just heal yourselves, but also be able to see the bigger picture that, oh my God, I love this person and they're going through their own transition in their life. You know, they're trying to learn about themselves, about relationships, about me, you know, and it's just amazing how things can fall in together, especially when there's that space to breathe. When there's that space to breathe, where there's that space to really look within and realize it's like that self-analysis on both sides. You know, some of you might not even realize you're wearing a mask. And as the divine masculines might not realize that they're really cowering away by getting busy and doing things they think that they're meant to do, and they're trying to achieve all these things in their life. But once again, we did see that the divine masculines are feeling like they're not giving anything of value to the relationship to the divine feminine, and that's because he's not working on himself. You know, he hasn't been, but I feel like he is now. He's come to realize there are things, if he wants this with you, with the divine feminines, he has to change some things in his physical world. And that could be literally leaving a marriage or a commitment or some kind of karmic partner or any kind of obstacle in his path that he feels obligated to stick with. That's his major challenge and obstacle right now, is to overcome that and realize he's not caged in. He can remove himself from that. And you guys, the divine feminines, can heal yourselves. You don't have to be trapped in your emotions or your, you know, negative thinking. You're not a victim of this. You can get out of it and you can transform your lives and bring in that harmonious energy and that love, and miracles can occur. So I hope this has helped you guys, and I look forward to connecting with you next month. Love and blessings.